good deed. Marla had always believed that kindness paid off, not because it made people happy, but because it brought something back to the person who gave it. Do good, her mother used to say as she stirred hot cocoa on cold winter evenings. Blessings always find their way back. As a little girl, Marla believed every word. As an adult, she believed kindness was an investment, and every investment should have a return, a promotion, an opportunity, or someone important remembering your name. That belief had served her well. At work, people described her as thoughtful. She remembered birthdays, volunteered for charity drives, and always offered to help when someone looked overwhelmed. No one ever questioned her motives. No one noticed she only stepped in when someone important was watching. It was just after 4:30, and people were beginning to head home. Marla stepped out of the building and saw a small group gathered near the front entrance. Robert Hughes, the CEO, was leaving. The branch manager walked beside him, chatting as they headed toward a black SUV parked near the curb. Marla paused. Robert rarely visited the branch. In 5 years, she'd spoken to him only twice. Then she noticed the man sitting alone near the sidewalk. An idea came to her almost instantly. She made her way toward him. She noticed that his clothes were worn, his beard was streaked with gray, and an old backpack rested beside him. He wasn't asking anyone for money. He simply watched the people walking past. Most ignored him. Marla looked back at Robert. Then she reached into her purse. $20. Enough to look generous. "Excuse me," she said, with a warm smile. "Would this help?" The man looked up and stared at her for a moment before taking the bill. "Thank you." His voice was soft, not what she'd expected. She smiled politely and turned to leave. "Funny thing about kindness," he said. She stopped. It always seems to arrive when someone's watching. Her smile faded. "I'm sorry." The man nodded toward the office entrance. She followed his gaze, and standing there, looking in their direction, was Robert. Heat rushed to her face. "I don't know what you're talking about." "No." He smiled faintly. Then he folded the $20 bill and slipped it into his pocket. Marla forced a laugh. "Well, have a good evening." She walked away before he could say anything else. Then she noticed the sound of footsteps behind her. She glanced over her shoulder. Relief washed over her when she saw Robert approaching. "Excuse me." She immediately stopped to meet him. "I just wanted to say." Robert smiled. "That was a kind thing you did." "Oh, it was nothing." "It certainly was more than that." They fell into step together. "I don't believe we've officially met," Robert said. "Marla." "Robert." She almost laughed, as if anyone didn't know who he was. He opened her car door before she could. "Keep up the good work." "Thank you," she said. He nodded and headed back toward the building. Marla slid into the driver's seat, barely containing her excitement. She looked in the rear-view mirror. The homeless man was still sitting on the curb, watching. For a moment, their eyes met. Then she drove away. Marla's apartment overlooked the river. It wasn't large, but it was quiet, and after long days at work, that was all she wanted. She kicked off her shoes, changed into comfortable clothes, and made herself a mug of hot cocoa. The first sip always reminded her of home, of winter evenings, of her mother. Blessings always find their way back. Marla smiled. Then her phone buzzed. A text from her friend Lisa. "Dinner tomorrow? It's been weeks." Marla stared at it. Lisa was one of the few people Marla genuinely liked. But tomorrow, Robert was visiting another office nearby. There was a chance he'd stop by. She couldn't miss that. "Sorry, busy with work. Rain check?" She set her phone aside without waiting for a reply. Outside, rain began tapping softly against the windows. The next morning, Marla arrived early. She parked close to the entrance. As she turned off the engine, a warning light flashed across the dashboard. Low fuel. She sighed. "I'll get gas after work." She grabbed her purse and hurried inside. By lunchtime, she'd helped a new employee understand the filing system, brought coffee to her manager, and helped finish someone else's report. Every good deed was carefully timed. Every smile was carefully measured. Robert never came. By Friday, she stopped checking the parking lot every hour. By Monday, She'd almost convinced herself she'd imagined how warmly he'd spoken to her. That evening, as she unlocked her car, a familiar voice spoke behind her. "Good evening." She turned sharply. The homeless man stood a few meters away. "What do you want?" she said. The man said nothing and just smiled. Marla frowned. "If you're looking for more money." "You don't carry cash?" he interrupted. Marla froze. "You used your debit card for coffee this morning." A chill ran through her. "Who are you?" Marla said. He smiled. "You've been disappointed all week." Marla's grip tightened around her keys. "What? You expected your boss to notice you again?" She stared at him. "What are you talking about?" "I notice things." He shrugged. "People stop pretending when they think no one's watching." Marla unlocked her car. "I think you should leave. I can help you," he said. She laughed. "I don't need your help." "Don't you?" She climbed into her car and locked the doors. Damien stepped back without another word. As she pulled away, she checked her mirror. He was still standing there, watching. The next day at work, before going upstairs, Marla stopped at the security desk. "Can I tell you something?" The guard looked up from his monitor. "Sure." She pointed through the glass doors. "There's a man who's been outside the building several times this week." The guard looked. "The fellow with the backpack?" "Yes." "Is he bothering you?" "Not exactly." "Has he tried to touch you?" "No." "Followed you into the building?" "No." The guard gave a sympathetic smile. "Then there isn't much we can do. He's on public property." Marla shook her head.